What is up, you guys? Welcome to the video. So today's video is going to be another one of these videos that might be kind of awkward for me to talk about, but in that awkwardness, I hope that there's some information that is helpful to you. So today's video, as you can tell by the title, obviously is going to be my relationship with the opposite sex and my loose skin. Now, before we do go any further in the video, I do want to say that I understand that my situation is pretty unique because of how much I do talk about loose skin. So for me, it has been probably a little bit easier than it might be for most people, especially if you're really nervous and you've never talked about your loose skin, like maybe nobody knows that you have it. So I do understand that my situation is a little bit unique, but I still do hope that, you know, the information that I have will be useful and can help you guys out. Now, first things first, is it possible to be in a relationship when you have loose skin? Absolutely. I think that the most important thing, especially in a relationship, if it's one that you're trying to have long term, is, you know, physical stuff is important at first. I feel like, you know, that's kind of what attracts people to each other. But in the long term, right, physical really doesn't matter that much because you will get used to how someone looks if you've been with them for a year or for longer. So a lot of people really stress about the loose skin, which is completely understandable. And I'm not saying it's not something that you should be worried about or like that it doesn't make sense that you're stressing about it if you have loose skin. But I think that in the long term, if you're looking to be with someone for a long time, if you want to get married, if you want to have a family, even if you want to just date for a long time, that loose skin, it might be a hindrance for a little bit, it might be awkward for a little bit, it might be something you have to talk about and really be honest about. But in the long term, if you're trying to be in a relationship for a long time, loose skin shouldn't matter, and I can almost guarantee you that it won't matter after a few months or even a few weeks. Speaking from personal experience, now I've actually only been in one real relationship that was about 2 years long, but the thing that's cool and the thing that I'm kind of glad about is that when I got into that relationship, it was before I had ever, you know, become so comfortable with my loose skin. I wasn't making posts, I definitely wasn't making videos. It was before any of my videos went viral about my skin, so it was still something that I was pretty nervous about talking about. So for me, what I did with my ex, the person that I was with for a very long time, is, you know, I sat her down and I just pretty much let her know, yo, I've lost 100, by that time it was about 170, 160 pounds. Obviously, when you say that, the conversation kind of just opens up, right? So we're just talking about, you know, how I lost the weight and how I gained the weight and all this stuff. So we had this long conversation about it, but then I was like, okay, but I need to let you know about this, and it's very important. And I was like, you know, I tried to sit her down and just be very serious with her. And I said, you know, I have loose skin from losing that much weight. And when I said this was literally like when we had first started like talking, when we had first started, you know, thinking about getting into a relationship or anything. I let her know from the get-go, just because for me personally, it was so much better just to let it all out and let it be known than to me stress about it and worry about what she would think about me or if she would find out in some weird way or how she would find out. It was just better for me to come straight up and just let her know, you know, this is something that I deal with, this is something that I have. And I will tell you guys right now, if you're worried about it and if you're struggling with it, I can almost guarantee you, especially if it's a person that is, you know, worth your while and is a good person, they will be more impressed with the journey that you've been on to earn that loose skin, like I like to say, than they will be worried about the physical, you know, differences that you might have from them because you have loose skin. Loose skin really is this awesome like battle scar that I have earned, that it just tells a story without me ever having to say a word. And that's something that I will always think in my head, and it will always give me confidence to not be super stressed out about talking to girls or about, you know, just about having relationships, because I know that it's something that I've earned, and it's not something that I am ashamed of. It's not something that I think is disgusting. It's just something that I deal with, and it's something that I have. So if I tell someone that I have loose skin, and if they have any, you know, reservations, or if they don't want to talk to me, if that person doesn't want to talk to me anymore, for me, I just feel like, you know, it's your loss. I'm not gonna be sad about it or upset about it because everyone is going through their own things. But for me, I know that I am not a less of a person because I have this loose skin. So fast forward to now, and obviously I'm no longer with that person. We were together for about 2 years, and it's been, I think, about 7 months since we've been together. So obviously I have talked to other people, you know, since we haven't been together. If I'm being completely honest, you guys, I did not want to say this on camera, but you know what? Whatever. So I actually ended up using Tinder and Bumble, which are like dating apps. I'm actually not on them anymore. I didn't really like the vibe that I got off of it, but I think it's a really good point to bring up. So when I was on those apps, like the profile, some of the pictures that I would put up, because you can put up like 6 pictures or something like that. So one of the pictures that I would put up was my transformation picture, just in hopes that if someone is interested in talking to me, that they would see that picture and then that conversation could start, and then obviously I can bring up the loose skin. And I can tell you, I talked to, you know, a good amount of girls. It wasn't like I didn't talk to anybody, and everyone that I told about my loose skin and you know, the things that I deal with, not one person was put off by it. And I can genuinely say that. Not one person stopped talking to me. Well, I guess I don't know 100% if they stopped talking to me because of loose skin, but I can say that every single person that I talked to, that I let them know about, you know, why I have loose skin and the journey that I've been on, they were more interested in the journey than they were about the byproduct of the journey. So they were more interested in, like, oh my gosh, like, you lost that much weight, that's amazing. And I feel like the girls that I was talking to were more intrigued by the work ethic that it obviously showed than worried about what the loose skin actually was. So I think some of the main points that I want to make is just be upfront and honest about what it is that you have, especially if you are trying, maybe want to be in a relationship with this person. Be upfront and honest, because it will take that dread that you kind of feel. At least for me, like, I would feel dread if I didn't say anything, or I would feel anxious and I would have this anxiety, and that is obviously going to eat away at you. So if you're just honest and say, like, yo, this is what I'm dealing with, say how you got your loose skin, because that's a cool story. If you have loose skin, you probably have a cool story to go along with it. So just be confident in that. Be confident in the things that you've earned. Be confident in the, you know, the journey that you've been on, because that does make you a stronger person. That does make you a more interesting person to talk to as well, especially people like my age. They haven't been through stuff like that, most of them. So when I'm able to sit there and tell them that story, a lot of times it just turns into this really long conversation, and they're able to learn a lot about me because of this, you know, this loose skin that a lot of people might think is disgusting and might think is gross, and they might make fun of me for it. But it's turned into this awesome just story that I'm able to tell just from right when someone sees it. They're interested, right? Well, hopefully they're interested and not just disgusted, but usually they're interested in it, and then I'm able to tell my story, which is something that I'm very, very passionate about. I'm very passionate about health and fitness and losing weight and helping others achieve their goals. So it just turns into something that I love to talk about anyway, so it really has kind of worked out for me. And the second point that I want to make is something I kind of just touched on in the first point, but be confident in who you are and what you've earned, because you've earned that loose skin, and it is a story that a lot of people do not have, and that a lot of people will be interested in. If someone doesn't accept you, if a girl doesn't accept you, or if a guy doesn't accept you, for you ladies out there, doesn't accept you because of your loose skin, they're not worth your time. They're just not. So you should be grateful that, you know, that has kind of screened them out of your life, and now you're able to move on to someone that might be more accepting and might be a better fit for you. Again, like I said, I understand that my situation is different than a lot of people. I am very open about my skin. I am very open about, you know, my journey and things, and I understand that a lot of people might not be. But I just hope that this was able to give you some information and you're able to get something out of this. Now, this is just my perspective, so I would love to hear what the ladies would think about this. You know, if you've dealt with this, if you're a guy that's dealing with loose skin, like what's going through your head. I would just love, you know, you guys know I love to have conversations down in the comment section down below, and you guys are I seriously love my comment section, so please, I would love to hear your thoughts. What do you guys think about this? And before I end this video, I just want to say, don't be ashamed of having loose skin. Don't feel like you are inferior. Don't feel like you are less than, because you have a story that you're able to tell, and that's absolutely amazing. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'm gonna go ahead and end it right here. I would love to hear what you guys think down in the comment section down below. Please leave a comment. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. There was one other thing that I wanted to say. Oh yeah, look how buff I am.
Look how buff I am.
Yeah.
And I saw you on your bed.
Now I can throw you on the bed. One more time.
Yeah, one more time.
1, 2, 3. I love you.
I love you too.
Obey the warning signs, and when there are flashing lights or wigwags, don't attempt to cross until they come to a complete stop.